Hey there, happy holidays from Feel the Boot. Today, I want to talk about some of the trends that are happening moving into 2023 and how you can take advantage of them and prepare to thrive in the coming year. And I'll also talk a little bit about what we're planning to do within Feel the Boot. I'd love to get your thoughts on our plans. Welcome to Feel the Boot, the science of startups. I'm your host, Lance Cottrell. So let's look at some of the trends that are taking place as we move into 2023. The first really has to do with fundraising. People are definitely feeling a little bit more conservative right now because of the economic downturn. So when you're raising funds, definitely be prepared for a slower process. There's going to be more due diligence. People are going to be digging in a little bit more into the details of your company. They're also going to want to see a longer runway. They want to make sure that you're going to be able to survive on this money for quite a while, because they anticipate that raising your next round may in fact be a little bit more difficult. In fact, they'll probably ask you to have, say, 24 months in your plan, because what they want is by the time you need to raise more money, we're climbing back out of this recession, we're into a bull market, and everyone is feeling good about investing into high-risk assets again. I'm also seeing a big move to quality in blockchain startups. Investors don't just want to see yet another Me Too, NFT, token, blockchain, DeFi kind of company, right? Way too much froth going on there. So people want to see not just that you're doing something on the blockchain, but that it's attached to a real business model. You actually have a plan to do something that is going to make money beyond whatever hype you can generate around the particular kind of token or whatever it is that you're trying to sell. And at least right now, valuations for those companies are cratering. They were insane. I had been seeing valuations that were absolutely outrageous. Tens of millions of dollars for a company that was at the idea or early prototype stage, right? No traction, no actual functioning code, definitely no customers. And in fact, across the board, valuations are coming down. They had gotten pretty frothy. The extreme valuations have plummeted. Overall, they're down slightly, but if you were already fairly realistic about what you were asking for, it's not like things have halved from there. So you can still probably get good money at a reasonable valuation if you have a strong business model, ideally with a path to generating money in the fairly short term. Because people would like to see that if things don't recover quickly and the market continues to be difficult, you'll have difficulty raising, you can pivot the business into a bootstrapping company, at least for a while, if you absolutely need to. The news has been full of stories about tech layoffs from big blue chip companies. And this, as a startup, is great news. It means suddenly there's a lot of experienced talent hitting the market that probably has been earning enough money that many of them can afford to work for equity or take a risk on a new startup in a way that you couldn't attract them before, right? They were comfy and settled into their situation at Apple or Google or Facebook or wherever they might have been. And it was hard to pull them away. But once they've gotten laid off, now they're looking around for the next opportunity. They have their heads up and you can network into them. It may not be easy to find them directly, right? They're often not going to be listing themselves on hiring billboards and bulletin boards, various websites like that, but they are interested. And if they're good, they're going to be in demand. But good people know good people. So work your network and see if you can find your way to get an opportunity to be introduced to them and sell them on your company. And it really is just like pitching investors. You need to be convincing them that they should invest their time for equity, probably because most startups don't have money, to come on board. So it really is very similar. You need to sell them on the vision, the scale that you can achieve, and the viability of the business model and how well you have validated and risk reduced it. There's also a lot of rapid change going on right now. COVID is slowly getting under control, but certainly not totally under control. We're seeing all sorts of outbreaks recurring in China and causing all sorts of new chaos to the supply chains. People are starting to think very seriously about supply chain robustness and how to guard against these kind of disruptions in the future. And of course, people are heading back to the office. Or a lot of companies want them to head back to the office. So all of these open opportunities for companies that see ways of addressing these problems now and ideally into the future, because none of us want a company that their entire reason for existence is going to disappear in 6 months. And the thing about change is change means disruption. Right? When there's all sorts of things going on in the market and the underlying reality is shifting under people's feet, that causes opportunities for agile startups. Right? There are definitely people who are suffering. There are people getting hurt. It could be some of your competitors. It could be new pains that potential customers are experiencing that no one has a good solution for. Look around and look for those trends that are maybe opening up gaps that you can slide through and develop a beachhead. Because really one of the biggest moments for a startup is getting those first few customers, where people are very suspicious of wanting to do business with a small startup because they know the odds are good you won't be around in 6 months. But if you're hitting an issue that's really critical for them right now, they may well give you a chance. And once you're in and delivering successfully, now you can land and expand, and you can leverage that success there as a selling point into other customers. So with Feel the Boot in 2022, we started producing some shorts, under 1 minute content for YouTube, as well as all the other socials. We're even on TikTok, and it's actually been pretty successful. So I think in 2023, we're going to double down on that, not just using content clipped out of existing longer episodes, but also special recorded short episodes that just provide quick bullets, quick data hits for people, because we know the attention spans are getting shorter, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback for people saying that they love these really bite-sized nuggets of startup information. At the same time, we're also going to try experimenting with shorter, longer form videos. So rather than say averaging maybe 10 to 12 minutes, seeing what the reaction is if we look at perhaps going more 5 to 6 minutes on our episode. So kind of narrowing down the topics a little bit. And if there are side issues that in a normal episode I would have sort of digressed on to discussing, maybe we'll set that aside for its own relatively short episode. Another first in 2023 will be live streaming. We've never gone live with Feel the Boot before, but I've already scheduled the first session. It'll be January 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we'll be talking about fundraising. What a surprise. It'll be a Q&A around fundraising, so any issues or questions you have, feel free to bring them. And if we have time, I'd love to give feedback to 1-minute elevator pitches. So that should be really fun, an hour from 10 to 11 on January 9th, 2023. I've also introduced a new topic at the end of 2022, angel investing. I realized many founders are also interested in investing in other startups. And of course, people who are interested in the startup ecology and economy often have been through an exit and are very interested in getting into angel investing. And I figure for people who are fundraising from angels, understanding how they think about things and the kind of advice I give to new angel investors will help you better understand how to frame your pitches when you're talking to them. I'm also in the process of setting up a syndicate. So this is a way to do effectively a kind of crowdfunding. It's on angellist.com, and I'll focus on companies that I've discovered through Feel the Boot. So these will be companies that I have done some advising with. I have inside insight into why the company should be successful, and it will allow me to bring in many other investors so that we can potentially write a much larger check and really kickstart these companies about which I'm extremely bullish. So look for that. I'll probably be talking about that in future episodes. And if you're at the moment an accredited investor, let me know and I'd be happy to share a little bit more information about it. I'd love to get your feedback on these plans. What do you think we're doing right? What ideas do you love? What ideas do you hate? We're always looking for information from the audience about what you think we should be doing next to make sure we're doing the best we can at serving your needs. Thanks for watching this end of the year episode. I hope you found it useful and interesting. If so, please do the usual, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring that holiday bell to be informed every time new episodes come out. To be really sure you get all the new episode information, sign up for our mailing list Boot Prints over at feeltheboot.com. In addition to getting informed about what we're doing and getting access to all the blogs, you'll get a link to sign up for office hours with me. One-on-one free office hours. I do them every week. I've talked to hundreds of different founders through this, and it's a lot of fun. And hopefully I will be able to continue doing it throughout 2023, although it is getting pretty packed, and so we may need to change the way we do this somewhat if I just completely run out of time and things are getting booked too many months out. Feel the Boot also has new merchandise, so it's a little late for a Christmas or Hanukkah present, but you might like to start the new year with a mug, water bottle, t-shirt, whatever that celebrates your entrepreneurial journey at feeltheboot.com/merch. Until next time, next year, ciao.